Once there was a wise and kind king who ruled over a prosperous kingdom. The kingdom was peaceful and the people lived happily. The king believed in fairness and kindness, and because of this, his people trusted him and lived without any fear. But peace often attracts jealousy. A neighboring kingdom, jealous of this happiness and prosperity, suddenly attacked the kingdom. Their army was strong and aggressive. Although the king was gentle by nature, he was brave when it came to protecting his people. He led the soldiers into battle with courage, and the war continued for many days. In the beginning, the king's army fought well and stood firm, but as time passed, the situation began to change. Soldiers grew tired, supplies started running low, and many were injured. Slowly, the enemy began to gain control, and defeat started to look certain. Seeing this, the king called a meeting with his ministers. "We are losing our strength," one minister said. "If this continues, our army will not survive," said another. After a long discussion, they reached a painful conclusion that surrender might be the only way to save lives. The king listened carefully. He felt responsible for every life in his kingdom. For a moment, he was ready to agree, but then he stopped and said, "Before making this decision, I want to seek advice from my master." That same day, the king and his ministers traveled to the edge of the kingdom where his master lived quietly near a mountain. The king explained everything to his master, the war, the losses, and the advice he had received. The master listened calmly and then said, "King, there is one last way. If it does not work, you may choose whatever you think is right." He pointed toward a temple located on top of a hill in the distance and said, "King, this is a miraculous temple. It can fulfill anyone's wish if prayed with true heart. Tomorrow evening," the master said, "you and your soldiers should gather at the foot of the hill and pray sincerely. If the lamp in the temple lights up, it means you will win the war. And if it does not, then you will lose." The next evening, as the sun began to set, the king and his army reached the hill. They stood together in silence and prayed with full devotion. Time passed, but nothing happened. Doubt slowly entered their hearts. Hope began to fade. Some soldiers lowered their head in disappointment. Just as the king turned to leave, a sudden voice shouted, "Look, the lamp has ignited." High above them, a soft golden light appeared. The lamp inside the temple had started to burn. In that moment, their fear turned into joy. The soldiers felt a new sense of confidence and energy. The glowing lamp filled them with belief. The belief that victory was now certain. The very next day, the king led his army back into battle. This time, they fought with strong belief and fearless courage. Their confidence did not break. And within a few days, the enemy was defeated and the kingdom was saved. After the victory, the king returned to his master with his soldiers to thank him. "Master," king said, "if you had not guided us to that temple, we would have lost the war." The master smiled gently and replied, "King, it was not the lamp that won you the war, but your self-belief." The king looked at the master in surprise and said, "But master, that very evening, just as you instructed, we prayed before the temple." And then the lamp suddenly lit up on its own. We took it as a sign that victory would be ours. Listening to the king, the master smiled gently and said, "O king, the lamp lit up that evening because I was present in the temple at that time. While you were praying below, I quietly lit the lamp. You took it as a sign from the Almighty and became filled with self-belief. And once you and your army believed in yourself, your courage returned. And with that courage came victory." The king stood silent. Then he bowed deeply to his master. Finally, he had understood the truth. He understood that victory does not come from miracles. It comes from confidence and belief in oneself. In life, everyone goes through phases when things stop working, efforts fail, confidence weakens and it feels like nothing is in our control. During such times, we slowly start losing self-belief. And once belief fades, fear takes over, making even small problems feel heavy. Sometimes all it takes is one small moment of hope to change everything. Just like one lamp was enough to ignite self-belief in the king and his entire army. That light did not change the situation outside, but it changed what was happening inside their minds. In our lives too. We often wait for miracles, blessings, or outside support, but real change begins when we start believing in ourselves again. Self-belief helps us stand up after failure and gives us the courage to try one more time. It may not remove problems immediately, but it changes how we face them. When belief is strong, effort becomes steady and progress follows.